Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I'm the Outreach Coordinator of NJSSC for the 2021 to 2022 school year. Today, we're going to be having our info session for our spring recruitment drive. And today, I have some team leaders of some of the teams that we have at NJSSC. So I'm just going to share my screen to show what we do, who we are, and what the different activities in NJSSC are. So yeah, welcome to NJSSC. We are a network of 230 students and more across the state of New Jersey. And this includes 17 colleges or universities and 71 high schools. And right now we're actually trying to recruit more middle school students to increase the awareness of sustainability and environmental groups like ours with the younger generation. So what we do, we build resources, we make political actions, and we do a lot of programming to help people gain more awareness of sustainability and the different situations that are going on. So yeah, here's an example of what an in-person meeting would look like. Right now, we are mostly focused on virtual due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but we do hope that in the future we'll be able to gather together in person. So what is our mission? Our mission is to connect with like-minded peers, build student power to impact our communities, campuses, and state, and empower students to take on leadership roles in their communities and the larger movement. We try to encourage all of our members to be extremely active in our coalition. And to do this, we also offer volunteer hours now where you can log your hours in different teams and your activities and earn hours and credit for doing that. So now I'm just going to start introducing some of the teams that we have in NJSSC. The first team that we have is the Outreach and Communications team, and this is led by me, the Outreach Coordinator, and our Publicity and Communications Coordinator, who is Sharon. She couldn't be here today, but I'll just introduce this team to you guys. So our team conducts outreach to expand members, schools, and youth organizations in our coalition. The goal of our team is to further expand the awareness of sustainability and expand the awareness of our coalition and our goals. So we use a variety of tactics to do this. For example, emails, reaching out to schools, teachers, and organizations. We use social media to send direct messages to partners on Instagram to share or repost our stories or our posts. And we also try to get more students to participate in our events through social media. We use flyers and tabling, and we also conduct organic recruitment of members, which is just reaching out to our friends and classmates and family members to join our coalition. We also work on internal outreach to ensure the participation of members and educate new members about our coalition's activities and teams. And we do this to make sure that members are aware of events and opportunities in our coalition so that they can really participate and be active in the coalition and sustainability world. We also have a newsletter, website, and blog to communicate our coalition's goals and events with more people. So here is what our newsletter would look like. And yeah, here is what our blog looks like. And our website is njstudentsustainability.com, which we have another slide with all of our social medias and information where you can access our events there too. So yeah, we also build media lists and write press releases, and we host many events that are coalition-wide to increase the reach of NJSSC and awareness of sustainability. So yeah, here is a picture of just one of the larger events that we had. This was our winter summit with a keynote speaker, Michaela Molnar, and it was a really fun experience. We got to learn about how local stores can incorporate zero waste into their goods, which was very interesting. So now I'll pass it over to Christian, who is our team lead for the social media team.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Sarah, for introducing me. So now I'll talk a little bit about what our social media team does for the coalition as a whole. So basically, the main goal of the team is to represent the coalition on all major platforms, including mainly Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, to help publicize the work of other tactics within the coalition and also educate the public in general on the topic of sustainability and also interact with our many co-sponsors. And one thing I do want to highlight about this is while it does say Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, we're always open to trying new things. And I know right now we're actually having the work to trying to get involved on some more different platforms such as TikTok. I think that's going to be really cool if we can actually get that up and running. But one thing I definitely want to highlight about this is some skills we actually develop if you do decide to join the social media team. That would mainly be some work with producing graphics and illustrations. So you basically get a nice background in graphic design, because we know that, especially in this day and age, as more things are becoming virtual, I feel like it would definitely be valuable to learn a little bit about how to use some of these, some on the surface, complicated programs such as maybe Procreate, Canva, or Photoshop. So if you do end up joining the team, no prior background in graphic design is required. We're going to spend some time to get you really acquainted with these programs so you can start creating some cool graphics that, as you see on the right. And I guess the two main functions of the graphics can either be to inform the public about an issue. For example, here it's talking about sustainable clothing and textiles. And also another form of the graphics we do is also to publicize amazing things that's actually going on in the coalition and get more people to know about it. And right here, you can obviously see the Green Amendment podcast, which I definitely hope you check out. You're going to hear somebody else talk about that a little bit later in this, but I think you should definitely check that out. So other than obviously a little bit of inside graphic design, we also obviously run all the main accounts on things like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. So we basically represent the coalition. You learn how to represent an organization and act professionally on these social media things on behalf of somebody else. So I think it's really interesting that we obviously represent the coalition on these main things, and also we reach out and interact with the public on those. So I feel like it's a great opportunity to get involved in the coalition. If you have any interest at all in social media, want to gain experience with it, with using it in a professional setting.
All right, so next we have the artistic activism team. Today, Ava and Kat, who are our team leads, they were not able to come today, so I'll just be introducing the team for them. So the artistic activism team uses different forms of art, and this varies from film, drawings, paintings, photography, and writing to raise awareness about environmental issues. And they mainly do this to show that art can be used as an emotional outlet, and it can also be used to build a lot of relationships between the different members in our coalition and our partners too. So members get involved in book clubs, webinars, and calls to help everyone learn and grow as both activists and artists. And the great thing about this team is that you don't need to be a great artist to join this team, because usually you're able to learn and develop as an artist while being in this team, even if you only know how to draw like stick figures. So they partner with other teams and organizations such as the mental health team, and they use art to build relationships within NJSSC, like I mentioned earlier. Yeah, right now we are actually having a cool art competition that just explores different topics of sustainability and environmental awareness. So some past projects that they had was the Green Amendment concert, which you can actually watch on YouTube. And it's just a really great team to, just be more open with everyone, build relationships, and just make some great art. Now I'll hand it over to Ashwin, who is our plastics team lead.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Sarah, for introducing me. So my name is Ashwin. I'm a junior at Metuchen High School, and my team is the plastics team. So the plastics team currently strives to reuse plastic items through creative solutions and actively remove waste from our environment. So previously in the team mainly focused on passing the New Jersey Plastics Bill, which is one of the most comprehensive plastic reduction bills in the country. And we successfully helped lobby for the passing of that bill, which is really great. But now since that bill has been passed, we've sort of pivoted our approach to working on more hands-on projects and things like that, because we understand that although preventative measures are being taken to reduce plastic in the environment, there's still an abundance of it out there. And we want to do everything that we can to dispose of it and creatively make use of it. So one of the things that my team has been working on is that we've been plarning, which is actually using plastic bags and cutting them up and creating yarn. So currently in our last meeting, what we did was we made these strips of yarn as shown in the top picture, and then we spooled them together and linked them sort of like a chain. So at our next meeting, we're sort of going to work to create like these mats that we could potentially link together and create like blankets or sleeping mats or things like that. So the plastic team also created bird feeders out of plastic bottles, which could be hung in like your backyard or something like that. But basically the plastics team is very open to new ideas and members, and it's a really chill team, and we have a lot of fun working on hands-on projects. So if you like to do things with your hands and do things more physically like that, I think the plastics team would be a great fit for you. And We're excited if anyone joins. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Juliana. I'm a junior at Mainland Regional High School. The mental health team helps NJSSC members combat eco-anxiety as activists and burnout as students. And we work in collaboration with Water Spirit, which is an organization partnered with NJSSC. And we have an upcoming event coming up in March, which is in collaboration with Water Spirit, which will focus on the mental health of students. And we're going to offer volunteer hours to NJSSC members to help out with this project. And you should join the mental health space channel. We're really trying to grow our membership on that channel. And some past projects have been the eco anxiety Instagram graphic. We also hold study sessions, which use the Pomodoro method to help just maximize everyone's productivity. And I also created this mental health calendar challenge. So you should all check that out in the Slack channel.
Hello, everybody. I'm Hiba, and I'm the policy coordinator. So the policy team works to research legislation at the local and state level. So we want to show that beneficial change can come at any level. So we're always looking for motivated members who are willing to introduce or support new policies in their communities. And we also encourage members to get involved in the local government process to build relationships with their local policymakers. And this personal connection would make it easier for policymakers to understand where we're coming from. And currently, the policy team is working on reaching out to organizations that focus on the impact of flooding on the infrastructure of many houses and buildings, which has caused many to pay large sums and even relocating. So join the policy team if you want to learn more about how you can support just climate policy. And since the policy team is also actively recruiting, you can reach out to me on Slack if you're interested in a leadership position.
So hi everyone, I'm Margaret Barra and I'm a junior at Mountain Lakes High School. So we are the Green Amendment campaign with the New Jersey Student Sustainability Coalition. So the Green Amendment is really quite a special bill. It's actually a state constitutional amendment, which amends the highest law in the land, specifically in the Bill of Rights section. And the Green Amendment really is just common sense. That's how I like to frame it. It secures the right to clean air, pure water, a stable climate, and a healthy environment for all people. And the all people clause is really quite important, especially for environmental justice populations, as it means in actuality that no people's well-being can be sacrificed for the well-being of another's community. And our campaign is not in this fight alone. This actually is a nationwide movement led by the organization Green Amendments for the Generations. And the Green Amendment is already in 3 other states, New York, which has passed this past year, Pennsylvania, and Montana. And it has been introduced into a number of states, including in New Jersey. So in New Jersey, we work with other adult and student-led groups. This really is quite an intergenerational movement, as you can see in the name for the generations. And then our team meets weekly with these other groups to plan and coordinate legislative strategy. Legislative basically, which means it's in the state legislature. And then speaking of strategy, we currently have 4 tactics, with lobbying first and bolded at the forefront. So lobbying is when you directly interact with the legislature. So for us, since we're looking to pass the Green Amendment and specifically the New Jersey State Legislature, we target state senators and state assembly people. And our preferred lobbying forms of action are lobbying meetings, which are direct meetings with these legislators and or their staff. However, we also participate in phone banking, emailing, social media events, etc. Our next tactic is the outreach tactic, which is focused on bringing in new members for our campaign, especially in legislative districts where our legislative VIPs are. So basically the most important people are Senator Scutari and Assemblyman Coughlin, since they are the 2 highest people in leadership in the legislature. So they really are our legislative VIP districts. And then really this event itself is an outreach event. So if you are interested in learning more about our campaign after this presentation, please check out the tiny link at the bottom below. And then now to Svan to go over the social media tactic and the rest of the presentation.
Thank you, Margaret. My name is Swan. I'm a sophomore at Newark Academy, and I'm the other Green Amendment campaign coordinator. As Margaret said, we have 4 different campaign tactics, and we have people who are working on multiple tactics as well as tactic coordinators. So for social media, our tactic coordinator is Christian, who spoke earlier, and for our social media tactic, we really focus on raising awareness about the Green Amendment, educating about the Green Amendment, and also publicizing the different projects and events that we have. So Christian already mentioned the Green Amendment podcast, which I'll talk more about in the next bullet. Other things we focused on are targeting legislators over social media via social media weeks of actions. We had an Instagram takeover one day for Earth Week, as well as many other things, both to do like outreach and publicity type things, but also to use social media as a lobbying tactic and understand how we can use that as a tool to contact their legislators in a public space, which can be sometimes even more effective than reaching them over phone or over email. Next, I mentioned, and Christian mentioned, we have the podcast. So our mainstream media team in the past has focused more on LTEs, more on like those traditional forms of press and the local news. But recently we created this podcast, the New Jersey Green Amendment podcast, to try and make it a little bit more interactive and on a place where more people, especially young people, are going to be listening to this, right? More of us are on Spotify than are reading our local newspapers. So we have 6 episodes so far out, and we release a new one around every 2 weeks, give or take. So definitely check that out at tiny.cc/GA podcast. If Margaret, you can type that link into the chat, or just go to Spotify and search up New Jersey Green Amendment podcast. It's hosted by Daniel Shapiro, who is a member of our team, as well as Margaret. So definitely check that out. We also have a series of recorded trainings that are available to students on a variety of topics and life skills relating to the Green Amendment. So we have a training on the Green Amendment itself, storytelling training, lobbying training, et cetera, all in our shared folder. So definitely check those out if you want to see those pre-recorded skills. And we do other trainings as the need comes up as well. And there's always opportunities with our team for leadership positions and volunteer hours. So we're often looking for people who are willing to help out our coordinators, become co-coordinators, or who have new ideas about how we can advocate for the Green Amendment. So right now we have our outreach coordinator position is open. We usually have 5 tactics. Our local resolutions tactic is number 5, but our coordinator for that is subbing for the outreach coordinator. So if you're interested in local resolutions or in outreach, that is a leadership position available. And like the rest of NJSSC, we offer volunteer hours. So definitely, if you're interested in our campaign, you can sign up at tiny.cc/GA survey. That link now in the chat as well as on the bottom of this slide.
All right, thank you so much, Swan, and everyone else. So there are many ways to get involved with NJSSC for now. You can sign up at tiny.cc/NJSSC. And once you do this, you'll basically just be providing your contact information so that we can find a way to contact you. You'll also be asked for your availability to sign up for a onboarding session where we will just basically introduce you to NJSSC, the different ways we contact each other, more in depth about our teams. Today, you just got to look at around 7 of them, but we do have more teams in our coalition. You'll also be able to join our Slack channel, which is our primary way of communication between all the members and leadership team. And you can also join one of our teams, which you can do just by signing up at tiny.cc/NJSSC. So once again, make sure to keep in touch, make sure to stay in contact with us to find out more opportunities involved with sustainability. We do have a website too, and we have an Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure that if you have those platforms, you follow us and just get an update of what we're doing, our different events, and our upcoming events that will be happening, and the different opportunities that you really get with our coalition. And if you do have any questions, you can always contact me or Joyce, who is our college co-chair, and Navyaa, who is our high school co-chair. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming. And yeah, you are all free to go now. Thank you so much.